this game, they will be crowned the ESL LA online champions.
North America. Yeah.
Why'd you laugh, huh, son? Grant, come beat this guy up.
Oh, he's coming with the foam finger. All right, I'll keep it in line. Crit does indeed go the Blightstone on his 4-position Weaver. That is the one switch up that Evil Genius is going to be doing. They seem to really like putting Crit on just not the meta heroes that I'm expecting from the 4 position.
Why not?
Lots of Mirana, now Weaver.
Bulba had a good game as the Tusk off lane last time. I'd imagine Arteezy's going to get speared as soon as he comes up for this.
Or God's Rebuked.
Okay, that works too.
Either way, it's a 2-for-2 trade. Definitely seems like they fit Bulba into, all right, we found what works for you. Let's just keep it going at that. Crit can play the crazy wild heroes. Roya is going to be playing that mid lane DK against Quinn's Pango.
Okay, and his Invoker last game was not very impressive at all, but hopefully his DK is a little bit better. We've seen his DK really pop off.
Yeah, he did a really good job. So, like, he actually scaled really well into the game. I was surprised he was able to pull off.
Oh, look at this. They're going to go for the kill onto SVG. The tag team is popped. They're on top of him right now. He's getting really low, but they're not going to commit for that. And Fly is, in fact, just going to TP out. Maybe he would have gotten the kill if he had actually skilled the cookie.
Yeah, maybe. I don't mind that, like, because they just burned the regen. It didn't really cost them anything, right? It's just a TP, which at the start you've got 3 of. No big deal. I appreciate the, like, even if you don't get the kill, just burning through his healing cell, it's got to feel good. That's crit, nicely done. Halts for a second with Shikuchi, and then does manage to pick up that range creep. Bottom lane is going to be Ursa Snapfire against Rubik Mars, which, you know, I always feel like between God's Rebuke and Fade Bolt, you could do a fair amount to almost any lane.
I know I often go for Spear first, and I've seen guys like Ice go for the Spear first to try to get some good harass or anything like that, but I know you really like it for the slow especially. And
yeah.
Now he gets a level of it, and he's getting really aggressive on Arteezy, who's getting quite low, but the stun's going to come out.
Fortunately,
No
MSS was very careful in making sure not to go within tower range. If he had during that stun, it could have been kind of bad for him. But an early pickup with the Orb of Venom is trying to slow down, but Arteezy, not having an Orb of Venom of his own, is unable to chase MSS down. How's Ryoya doing? He is 8-1 compared to 10-3. So is this expected to be a little bit of a losing matchup? I'm sure it's just farming back and forth, but
I think they'll trade farm, but I have to imagine based on attack animation,
can
it might
he
be a
catch
little
up
bit
to
more
him?
favorable.
He's gonna get him.
Crit's
He's
dead.
gonna get the stun, and Crit's dead. That is gonna be your first blood. You are. An early kill for him. Things are
Not
starting off great for Quincy.
Where he was going for, actually.
He probably just, he was like, there's no way they'll chase me, right?
Yo, once again, MSS's lane is fine. In fact, he's winning in CS. They keep picking this Ursa, I'd imagine, because they think it's the counter to some of these melee heroes. Quinn, out of mana, does have the Fairy Fire, but doesn't pop it.
Well, that just turned things around.
That's going to turn things around quite big, as the 4-position Weaver, it pays off.
Yeah, his death, in a way, you know, maybe he gave up first blood, but still, the mid-kill.
True.
Very valuable.
Very smart. Very smart. This is
all
why
part
they
of the
pay
plan.
you the bucks.
Another spear and a God's
Yeah, he's
Rebuke
dead.
needed to finish him off.
Didn't even get the animation off in time. He actually just got slammed in the air.
Yeah, the interesting thing about the cookie, if you interrupt it with any sort of movement abilities, she'll just slam to the ground where she's at, including if you kill something mid-jump.
So far, pretty even laning phase, I'd say. You are not having as good of a lane as I figured, but he does have the first blood, and MSS is
the telekinesis toss him away. MSS, he does have
and
a
the
spear.
spear.
He'll be good.
Back-to-back, hits both.
But he is burning through a lot of regen. Still, though, he is top CS, so it is all being rewarded. And Ryoya is being rewarded with a regen rune. What's worse, a DD or a regen? Or does it just depend on the situation?
What annoys me more? I'd say regen seems to hurt me more than DD does.
Yeah. In this case, with the Dragon Knight, he's going to be full health most of the time anyway, so I'm sure Quinn is not seething too much, though I'm sure he's still a little mad.
It's more like when I'm playing against a Queen of Pain or something, she uses all her harass on me and all her mana, and then I lose like the Rune Guest fight. She gets a regen, and I have to go back.
Oh, the shards. It's not going to be able to block in SVG. He is able to get off the Inkswell, stunning the Tusk. Bulba is going to let Crit chase down SVG, and he will manage to get that kill too.
And that's 2-2. A much better start this game for EG, as at this point in the game, it felt real rough. But they might just get a kill onto Fly, who gets slammed in the air again.
Once again, stopping that cookie animation, then lands the spear to follow it up. Fortunately, Fly did have a lot of stick charges. He slows down MSS, but MSS, with this Orb of Venom, was able to keep that Snapfire close. Now, he does have another spear coming up, so Arteezy, unless he jumps over it somehow, no. Quick turnaround,
and
MSS
too.
Slows in with the God's Rebuke,
Dude,
making sure he gets out. He
really
has a
good.
bottle. So it's actually going to be pretty nice when this support TP's back in. Mid lane, though, Quinn's in trouble. He will manage to kill the creep to get level 6 and pops a Rolling Thunder to get away.
Smart.
That was a clever move.
But this is the catapult wave, and maybe he could have anticipated this gank attempt coming. Even though he doesn't die, having to go back to base here, not really too good of a feeling against Dragon Knights, as he's going to pop his own. And somewhere...
Toss back, spear away.
Oh, man, Arteezy must be so annoyed right now at these spears.
Yeah. Once again, Quincy crew have like figured out a way to deal with the Ursa in the laning phase, and as long as they can hit this spear... Oh, MSS, that was so close.
Dude,
but
he hits every
barely
single
managed
one.
to get it off.
And he's still sticking around in lane. Doesn't really have any more regen, but looks like he's going to go for the snipe, actually. That's why Biver, he's going to pop his wand. They're going to try to set up. Maybe he finds the angle here. He's got a lift.
Okay, Fly's going to come forward. All right, that's a freebie.
He gets 5.
Take him out. Oh, but there is Weaver on the other side. The bugs. Oh, the bug latched onto MSS. That is a disaster for him. He has no abilities to be able to get away, and now Arteezy has vision. This might be both of them dying.
They said lag, and Crit said me too. It's okay. And he's trying to get them to play on.
MSS is very dead. Biver is going to be chased. Okay, Crit actually goes into the tier 1 tower. He knows he's giving up his life for this. He just wants to kill on Biver, but he's not going to get it.
And Biver's almost level 5 after all of this at 7 minutes in. So he's at a very good laning phase, as has the Mars.
And with Grimstroke down there, he obviously feels like it's okay to leave. You are top, and he'd be right. 34-16.
When you give Morph any sort of lead, especially, and I think I've said this in particular against strength offlaners where they don't really have the best option to burst you down or harass you back, he's going to deny everything.
Yeah.
It's just what Morph does. You get a bunch of agi for free, you morph downwards, you're never afraid of getting bursted, so you always stay at a low HP range, no problem.
He almost hits for double the damage of the Tusk.
Alright, yeah. It's impossible for Bulba to farm.
Yeah. So Bulba's got to find something else to do. And that's why he's going to start rotating towards the mid lane. They do have both ward and counter ward to make sure there's no vision to see this rotation. Otherwise, Bulba would just be spinning his own wheels. Now, the bugs go out. Crit now with Bulba closing in. He's going to be able to snowball onto SVG and locking in the 2 supports together for a beautiful combination with Fly.
And MSS, or no, Quinn, sorry, is stuck up there. They don't really know. That might save his life because they went all the way around. But in fact, if anything, it just really got his mid tower taken because he's not able to pull off that wave. And he's just kind of chilling up here. He doesn't... I'm not actually sure why he's waiting this long. He was waiting for the Centaur to die, in fact. But he missed out on like an entire mid wave as a result.
Yeah.
So do you think that was worth?
I mean, with that many heroes hanging around, I'm not sure what he could have done too much anyway, I would say.
True, true.
I would say that I think Bulba has made the best out of a terrible situation. You can't lane in there, so you go mid. That mid rotation finds 2 kills, and you manage to bring down the mid tower.
Oh yeah, I think he's playing this very smart. Like, I think a lot of people look at the CS and be like, CS lol, but what was he supposed to do against a Morphling as Tusk after he got abandoned by his Weaver who gave up first blood?
And that's pretty much their only advantage, because him and Artur are both in kind of the similar place in net worth. Neither one of them are super happy with their lanes as you are.
Yeah.
Finds the freebie on Crit.
I don't think Crit should ever be up here.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
The way that you kill Morph is not through like poking him repeatedly, which is what Weaver's good at. It's through just bursting him. And that is probably Weaver, as a 4 position, his weakest skill.
Yeah, they have to wait for Ryoya to have his Blink Dagger, right? Though, should he go? Well, no, I guess Spirit Vessel is Bulba's job, right?
Yeah, I think he already has the urn. No?
No.
I thought he had. Oh, no, Crit has it. Crit has it. Sorry.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
I knew one of them.
Yeah,
one of the
that
two
makes
had
sense.
it. And I was like, wait, Bulba, whoever had it didn't have boots.
Well,
and
they're going to
go
poke
for
at
this
him again. This time it might actually work. He still has the bug on him. They're going to try and chase him down underneath the tier 1 tower. He's morphing into so much strength, but he has no armor. Maybe, he turns into the Weaver and he actually gets away, and now Crit is going to be pinned to the wall. He's dead.
He actually stopped morphing. He's got to be careful. He's all right. He's all right.
Okay.
He's all right. But he stopped morphing for a second, and that almost got him killed.
I like the fact, okay, this is nice. Ryoya sees this, and he's like, okay, everyone TP top. Let's make the most use of my dragon form here.
Go run bottom.
Hit bottom tower.
Well done.
Again, making the best out of a just bad situation. They will manage to get a good amount here, as he still has another 5 or 6 seconds, so he'll get more. The snowball rolling in, MSS.
That's a pretty big kill.
Punch to the back gets him killed. 7-7 now. And that tower?
MSS was having a very good time, by the way. And Bulba is slowly making a little bit of headway.
Okay, Ryoya's going to go for it, but a nice play from SVG putting the Inkswell onto the creeps means that he'll stick with it. He gets stunned, but he did what he came here to do. Maybe he didn't get the last hit on the tower, but the Siege Wagon did.
Yeah, he got the kill. That's all that he really cares about. And he's going to back out. They want to get some more pressure on this top area, though, I'd imagine. I think even Arteezy starts making his way up towards top is the correct play. And in fact, I'm not really sure where they're going to go for it. They're going to go Roche. They're going to scout for vision right now. They don't see anything. And they're just going to go for a pretty gutsy Roche call.
I mean, this is so hard since Enrage no longer does the double damage. You do not burst down Roshan.
They're sending the bugs into Arteezy's getting
he's got to let
low.
Bulba tank it up for a little while. Healing salve up. Okay, so Ryoya is kind of beating right now, but it's a distraction. I hope that's the idea, because it did successfully work. They did get the Roshan kill and got the Aegis on Arteezy.
I have no idea what to say about that.
You think that was part of his master plan? He's like, don't worry, guys, I'll show mid.
No, there's no reason for that. If they had known it was going to happen, they would have skipped him anyways.
Uh-huh.
Or they would have sent somebody around. They wouldn't have brought like 4 heroes there just to kill him. That was just kind of a straight up death.
Well, that's what you just tell yourself.
You got to sell the fake fully, right?
Yeah.
You got to all in sell the fake.
I mean, that's what I would be saying.
It's honestly the best fake because he believes it himself.
Yes.
He's like, nobody's roshing. Oh, wow, my team roshed. Excellent.
You are.
It's perfect.
Building up the Ethereal Blade.
Surprised he doesn't feel like he needs something like the Manto or the Lincolns or anything like that. Considering he sees the urn pick up by the Weaver, and it was relatively early.
It's going to be, I mean, I guess he's just going to be ignoring the DK for a long time, right? That is going to mean he's very susceptible to this Blink Dagger Spirit Vessel build that could be coming in. One from the DK, and then that found the initiation on the Biver. Free kill there, but it was a smoke gank. They wanted something more from that, and they just might find it in MSS, who's TPing around the corner, but they had no stuns left.
Gold lead marginally in favor of EG. They've got this Aegis, but not really sure how they plan on utilizing it. No Real aggressive items on Arteezy, who decided to go for the Mask of Madness first item. No bash or anything like that. War just continues to get really big. And he had that one moment where he was sort of pressured, but look how quickly he farms. Very nearly has the E-Blade. This is going to be like 16-minute E-Blade if he doesn't die here.
Well ahead of the average for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Quinn, a very fast Maelstrom, but he did rush it. No arcane boots or extra wraith bands. Not even treads. Which is what he's going to be going next. Does some damage to Bulba. Biver tries to follow it up. He actually has Walrus Punch, so they do have an additional disable here. And with the Arena, they know that Tuss is already dead. That's why Quinn is going to try and go for the extra kill onto Fly. Fly actually landing the stun onto Quinn, and now Quinn is stunned underneath the Tier 1 tower with all of EG rotating in. It was the right idea, but bad execution.
And
now
Biver,
they've just fed away.
oh,
Biver, nice steal with the Shukuchi.
The Weaver counter.
He manages to get out, and the Ethereal Blade is now up. Shotgun City, ready to go for Yuar.
We see
the 15-minute bounty routes. Whoa! Just headlong into
Goodbye.
Okay, that's double Fate Bolt. That's a lot of damage right
now
there.
Ryoya's 1-on-4.
Yeah, he is really low, and he's going to be saved by Fly. But what about Arteezy? He's trying to hop over the cliff, but he's going to be chain stunned.
Man, some of these steals by Biver. And Yuar is way too strong for them to fight right now. 8.1k net worth. Arteezy is way behind that. Did not have the laning phase start that this Morphling did. And yeah, I mean, you saw right there, by the way, why you're kind of loath to play Weaver into Rubik.
Yeah.
You're essentially giving Weaver or Rubik like the best ability, and you're giving him a disable. He does more damage than you. And it's really that mobility. No one really likes to play against it.
It's like both the best initiation and escape for the Rubik.
Yeah, it's actually so obnoxious. And it gives him a farming ability, too.
He's got the Fire Snap cookie right now.
They're smoked up, but it breaks.
The smoke broke on MSS, so Evil Geniuses should know about this. Group up, play on a high ground somewhere. Looks like they're going to leave Crit out there as a bit of bait. See if Quincy crew take it. They tried to go for a sneaky Fire Snap cookie, but...
Yeah, and... oh, did he give it away again?
He did.
Indeed he did. The only way you could stop is if you throw out the bugs.
Yeah, and that's just a bit wasteful.
Also, you don't really have the mana pool to support that. But EG themselves are going to go for a smoke. Do they really have any way to kill this Morphling? I don't think so.
Well, they know that everybody was grouped up in that top area, so they're going to be able to get to this high ground before Quincy crew comes back, and they're going to be able to surprise him. But Yuar, man, does manage to get off the Strength War first, and now the arena goes down. He's taking so much damage, but he has a wait for him. He's going to get out, and that Inkswell just stunned 4 heroes with the follow-up Rolling Thunder that is keeping him chain stunned. Back and forth he goes. Arteezy now is going to try and do what he can with very little HP, and he's just speared up. Yuar, okay, Ryoya might be able to get out, though. Oh, Biver went the wrong direction. He thought that maybe the DK tried to juke up.
Probably wouldn't have killed anyways.
True.
Didn't have the lift, but Yuar, I mean, I guess he got caught morphing all the way back into Agi, because he has 16 wand charges, so I guess he just didn't see Crit coming.
Yeah, I guess so.
That was sort of close, though. So you see right here, they try to make the jump, but Ryoya, first the Tusk gets spotted, which is the worst possible situation, and then he E-blades himself, really nicely done. But even if they killed him in that Mars ulti, I think they were all still going to die.
He just popped open, hit him. And that was a dominating streak given over to Crit. He finished up his Spirit Vessel off of that. So, bad fight, but a somewhat half-decent outcome, especially for Crit, who's now going to get a big boost of gold towards his Aghanim Scepter. And that will certainly be a nice counter to the Ethereal Blade Adaptive Strike combination. If he can get it. And if they don't get one shot.
Big if after if after if.
And if the rest of Quincy crew don't cast any spells.
I like it. You've set up a perfect scenario.
EG ready to smoke.
I mean, they're just kind of bashing their heads against the wall
they're going
now.
to blindly push into this high ground, but Quincy
there's
crew
smoke right
have
after.
left it right at the perfect time, and they're
Like
actually
ships
going
in
to be
the
caught
night.
in the low ground. This is going to be a perfect opportunity for EG, possibly. They're going to lead off on SFG, who will manage to catch him. MSS with a nice arena out. Quinn does have the Rolling Thunder, and they're in an alley, too. He can actually chain stun this with a Soul Bind. He runs into our ETZ, keeps up the Ursa controlled as long as possible, but the rest of them need to be able to kite out that DK. The DK getting low, Adaptive Strike going out, not enough to be able to kill. Yawar, 5 seconds, needs to be able to push back RTZ. That's the big damage dealer, and he still has that Spirit Vessel on him too. A Spear goes out, controlling up Bulbup, and they are kiting RTZ nicely. Yawar has one more wave for him to go. He's now low on mana,
And
but
Ryoya
he
dies
is
in the
back to
back.
safety.
They got to get out.
Yeah.
This initially looked like an okay fight, but they've overstayed their welcome. And it looks like rather than the Morphling, they have to get on top of MSS. This combination of the Mars Arena plus Quinn's Rolling Thunder is doing way too much. He's going burr everywhere in there.
Especially since they chased EG down into the low ground, and they went into a funnel.
Yes.
Like, that was
best case scenario. They were hoping to just run into the Morph, maybe farming the triangle.
Oh, yeah. That
But
makes sense.
that did not happen. And now the gold lead, for whatever reason, is only actually in 1K in favor of Chaos. And I think that's largely due to Crit having so much farm when he got the solo kill on the Morphling.
Yeah.
And all that gold and XP. But it's not like things are getting that much better. It's still 2K for Chaos. What if we actually get to a 5th game? Chaos, are they going to complete it? They want that reverse sweep. They don't want to lose to the coach and the stand-in. They want to protect that pride.
They have, indeed, a lot of pride. Long being seen as the second best in NA. This is their best chance to stick it to EG for some time to come. So they may not get another opportunity like this. The Linkins is going to be up next for Yawar. Not too many single target abilities, but the ones that are there are very important. Especially that Dragon Tail from the DK.
It's mainly that and the snowball.
Yeah.
Once you get rid of that, and eventually Arteezy is going to try to grab Abyssal Blade, right? Which is going to be another reason or another way for them to deal with the Morphling.
Good point.
It's all single target.
Yeah.
The only real stun they have after that would be the Snapfire Cookie. But that's really hard to hit on Morphling, who's pretty much a moving target at all times. So the way that they'd have to kill is if Bulba also got a blink, and then they like simultaneously jumped onto this Morphling, but even that's pretty difficult in terms of coordination.
They easily have the 2 highest net worth heroes in the game, but they are only up by 2,000 net worth. That's because MSS is a little bit lower in the field, as are the supports.
Yeah, this Grimstroke is really poor, despite having won the past, I want to say like 3 fights in a row.
Yeah, he's been targeted a handful of times here.
And it's not like Biver's very rich either.
No. Surprisingly, considering all the great steals he's been having, but...
Are we going to get the 3-2 run back? I'd be so hyped, as Chaos are going to go
they're
for
gonna
what I
bait
think
out
is
an
their last
arcane room,
smoke.
and they see Bulba. He's running down the hill. That is going to be a quick little pickup on him as he's silenced, unable to do anything about that. Oh, that's a nasty combination. They've got the disarm plus Phantom's Embrace combo. You get the Phantom on you, then you get disarmed. You can't remove it, so you stay silenced.
The DD on Quinn is pretty intense.
Oh, yeah. He does a lot of damage, especially with this Treads build now and Diffuse a Blade complete. Even if it got nerfed, it still does a wealth of damage. Linkins is coming in soon, and at this point, Quincy crew just need to be able to play around Roshan and make sure that EG don't take it for their Ursa lineup. Not sure if they can take it themselves. That would be difficult, but always possible with a... do they have a Vlad's or anything? I don't think they do. A Pipe for Mars.
Dude, they do Roche so fast. Remember, Lucky Shot is insane. The
That's
disarm.
True. Yeah.
Plus, Morphling just... Anybody can tank for him. I think Mars with Bulwark can just do it.
Let's say it would be a bit of a risk for them to try without going for a kill on EG first.
Yeah, and I think this is, in fact, maybe EG's.
They're going to just blank out to the high ground. They are going to be able to get the stun onto MSS. As you wanted to be able to see, the Soulbind does go out, but
Heroes
MSS is
are
already
dying.
dead. The arena goes out, but the BKB is allowing them just to be able to march forward and kill. Hero after hero of Quincy crew. All the backline is dead. Now it's just left with the Pango and the Morphling. All that net worth, but no heroes to support you. Is it really worth anything? Quinn's going to try and cover up UR's tracks here, but he gets caught by the stun.
This is a fourth kill.
Does manage to get another stun in. A Spirit Vessel onto UR. UR almost caught by the shards, but he has a... Oh,
the shotgun.
Shotgun's out, Cred, but he's actually very tanky. He's got 2k HP.
Wow, I can't believe they finally got that fight. Instead, and it's exactly what I was talking about, ignore the Morphling. You're not going to kill him. It's the Mars that's the real problem. It's the Mars plus Pango Ball that's causing you all this issue. They finally kill the supports, and that forces the Morphling to backpedal, and somehow EG, I didn't think it was possible, but they have wrested the gold lead back in their favor.
Them making sure to get the initiation off of buying both their BKBs.
Yes.
That is a team fight winning combo right there.
Still, I mean, saying, you know, get on top of the Mars and get the supports, that's easier said than done, but they're finally able to accomplish that. Arteezy's going to get spotted. Fast little bear he is.
If that was a Morph on the high ground, for example, right?
Yeah.
Their initiation would be totally blown.
Arteezy's going to run in again, and MSS, this was his dieback.
He does have the Aegis on Arteezy, so if he just brings Quincy crew here, they may still be able to take the fight. UR comes out, tries to shoot down the Weaver, but he survives, and he has a cheese still anyway. Wouldn't have gotten that kill.
That was the Mars Arena. Keep in mind.
Mars Arena, plus they're going to be able to get all 4 bounties here. They are very rapidly turning around this net worth lead that Quincy crew once held onto. It goes from almost 3K in their favor of Quincy crew to now a 3K deficit.
Yeah, let's see this again. We have to see this. They get on top. Quinn is backpedaling. He pops his ulti, but with the double BKBs popped, really, he doesn't have any angle. And in fact, he misses crit twice on the way around and finally catches him at the end. But, yeah, and it was actually Biver that bought back. My mistake. I thought it was MSS.
The Soulbind Morphling combination, it's cool. It does a lot of damage, but against magic immune units,
does nothing.
Does nothing. So this is going to be a significant window. EG.
Look at the 2 supports. Their farm on the side of Quincy crew. This will start to hurt them quite a bit because most Dota games comes down to like who can hunt who supports first. And if you just don't have any items, Biver used that buyback that I had mistakenly attributed to MSS. There's a mech, for example, on this Snapfire. Like, Weaver's got a Spirit Vessel. He's very farmed himself. I think he's going for Aghanim Scepter next.
Ooh, a repair kit found for Quincy crew. Would I be wrong in saying that that's really beneficial because they just want to run the clock on EG and get their BKB timers low?
No. I don't know.
Would not be wrong.
I don't actually know if, like, this Aegis matters, and I don't know if the repair kit really holds too much weight. This is the first Snapfire ult I've seen in forever, by the way.
Quinn's dead. And they're going to continue the march in. The backdoor protection is up in that top lane, so they'll have to go towards mid instead. And I do not see Quincy crew fighting into these BKBs right now. Oh, they do have a double damage on UR, but he's not going that direction, so...
Sorry, I was reading something in chat. So I, like, vaguely heard your question.
Which was?
What? What did I read?
Yeah.
It's actually terrible.
Good?
No, somebody said...
All right.
Somebody said Sharteezy, a.k.a. Farm Simulator, sucks with multiple X's.
I'm sorry, can I run the Sharteezy?
Yeah. I don't know.
Maybe it's just because I'm really tired, but I find that funny.
I was just, it caught my eye.
16 to 17, a 6,000 net
They're
worth
going high
lead,
ground
and
here.
they are hitting the tier 3 tower right now. Yo,
Where's
that
the repair kit?
Hello?
Repair kit! Who's got it?
I mean, it was picked up by what? It was picked up by Biver. Now it's just sitting in their shop. Guys, it's 50 HP.
Help. Help me help you. Help me help you.
Wait.
You don't need this Ocean Heart? What actually happened to it? They certainly have one.
It's sitting there in their shop. I swear to God it is.
Is that, do you have the wrong team selected?
No, I definitely have the right team selected.
You definitely have the right. Yeah. I saw a drop too. That's why you asked me that entire thing that I ignored by accident.
All right, well, you know, sometimes these things happen. Maybe sometimes you want to save your repair kit for tier 4s. Who knows? BKB is up for UR, so time to even the playing field a little bit. Magic Immunity on both sides now available, but is that enough for this Morphling? These heroes are still very tanky. They're not going to die to right-click so easily. Pop
Surely
up, finish up that
now,
tower.
Right?
No, RT's not going to get them the chance. Backdoor protection actually goes up for a second, and he gets disarmed as well, but he turns back
Please,
and
you have repair
it.
kit. And he gets Weaver ultied.
And he gets Weaver ultied to get away.
All right, so although Yawar might not die again this game, it might not matter if the rest of his team just dies. Woo! And they're kind of doing it.
They certainly are on EG.
Wow, I really thought that Quincy crew had this game, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and then they just... like, you could tell they need to make good use of every BKB charge from here on out. They're trying to plan their team fights accordingly. He's got 2,200 HP plus the cheese, so he can be a little bit forward, just as long as he doesn't get chain stunned. And part of that comes from MSS, who's currently trying to farm up his Blink Daggers. They have some better form of initiation. The TP being threatened in this bottom lane protects the outpost long enough for them to be able to get the experience for it. Despite the fact that Quincy crew is largely shut on their triangle and their side of the map, they will manage to share in the experience bounty even if they don't get the bounties.
This Weaver's really farmed now. He is going to be a menace. I think he is a higher level than Arteezy.
Yeah, I almost thought when he was building up Aghanim Scepter, I was like, man, you're so farmed, Crit. Maybe, just maybe you go damage, but it's obviously not needed if this Ursa.
No, he's your mini
DK,
Aegis.
Yeah. They just continue to pump it out for you. Abyssal Blade up soon, as you predicted, against the Morphling. Ursa's going to be working towards that. What's Ryoya up to? He's got a Bloodthorn being queued up. Little blast here and there onto Arteezy.
This way he gets the jump on the Morphling. Pop the Lincolns 2 different ways, but there is a BKB now on your war.
5-man smoke up. And onto the high ground they go. MSS, he'll be there to break the smoke. Can he blink fast enough? He is fast enough, but there's still a lot of chase. And Ryoya is going to be able to get the stun onto Biver. That's going to be at least one pick off, but it looks like Quincy crew may think about turning here, but Arteezy jumps right in and does manage to get the Rubik. That is going to be both supports going down here. A bounce around, Rolling Thunder. Quinn's not sure if he wants to stick around here. I think he would like to get out, but he can't get the angle. He's going to swashbuckle away.
Quinn.
Run, run away.
And they're all healed up. And this is the benefit of your supports being so farmed. Both supports on the side of Chaos, or sorry, Quincy crew are just both dead. They're not getting anything out of this, and the rich get richer, as we already talked about how farmed this Weaver is. He has, if you combine both their net worths, he has more than them.
Oh, yeah. They're at 7,300 combined. He's at over 10K.
Yeah, by quite a bit.
Mid lane. You are with the Shikuchi in Morphling form. They're going to spot him here, and they're going to try and get the initiation. At the same time, MSN tried to go for a spear, but it was all for naught. He misses, and now he is dead. Punished for his
They're
mistake.
just ignoring him.
You are. Yeah, he's being ignored right now until he's the last one they can hit. Now they go for him. He's going to wait for him out to the high ground, but I bet EG are going to pursue. You are chased in. Ice Shard's blocking him a bit. He's going to have to walk it off 4 more seconds until he has to wait for him, and he's dropping fast. He's dead. No buyback either. Quinn gonna completely whip that Rolling Thunder. They need to find a way to be able to bring down some core here. And it's gonna be Arteezy. He no longer has the Aegis, but he's gonna be saved by the mini Aegis of Crit. A fresh life, and now an Enrage as he turns onto SVG. Abyssal Blades onto him and finish him off. At the same time, Biver's gonna be chasing the right-hand side. Quinn desperately needs to be able to finish off Arteezy though. He does have the Inkswell. They have to go for this kill here and now, and they do manage to get it. The Soulbind reconnects from Fly, now onto Bulba. Fly's gonna be dying next. Crit is gonna join the party here, trying to lend his damage onto Quinn. Quinn with a swashbuckle up, cannot get away. Ryoya's stun lasts a little bit too long. Arena Spear onto Crit. That's going to be another kill as a buyback comes out from Quinn. He knows EG, they have treaded far too far into the Dire base, and they should be punished for this. They're going to try and get this remaining kill onto Ryoya, and there is no way for him to get out. Nice butt spear from MSS, a little bit of style points as they do keep the game within somewhat in their control.
Yeah, they smelled blood on the side of EG, decided to kind of go all in for it, but Arteezy just got way too separated from the rest of his team. Not really in a position where the Weaver could help out, didn't have the cheese, and 4 buybacks, I believe that was. They really need to get this Aegis, take it out of the hands of EG.
Yeah, Yawar was dead so long ago. He is already up.
Look,
and
there's
making
an
his
axe
way
here
to the
now,
Roshan pit.
This is going to be sick for Quinn. This will shore up a lot of the net worth differential, in fact. And he's one of the best Ags
Oh,
buyers.
they're going to buy back in. They're going to try and smoke, but I think they're going to be too late.
They are
This
gonna be too
Roshan
late.
is dying so fast, they're not going to be able to get inside the pit.
There's a lot on the ground here.
They're going to grab it all. No problem. Aghanim Scepter going over to Quinn and the cheese while Yawar holds on to the Aegis.
And all of a sudden, there's now a way for them to win. Look at that gold lead. It got destroyed with the buyback. And once it updates, it's going to go down even further.
It's 10K to nothing now. It is an even game, 23-21, 35 minutes, dead even now as a smoke up from Quincy crew, sensing they hold an advantage with
It was
not just
11K.
Aegis, but also a double damage on UR.
Yeah, it was 11K now to nothing. And if Ryoya dies, the game is just over. He's got to be careful. He's going to farm some creeps. They know about this too. This would be such a bad way for them to lose.
He is very, very tanky. He's got 3.4k HP, but that may not be a whole lot to this Morphling, who can shred with this DD. He's almost hitting for 600 a shot. And we're going to take a bit of a breather. This is
nice
Game
quick pause.
4 of the North American Finals for ESL One LA Online.
23-21. Quincy crew is desperately trying to force game number 5, and they were so close. Then EG just won fight after fight, but then they went for that crazy dive where Chaos bought back pretty much everybody.
Yeah, they bought back on their 2 supports and Quinn. But now they have an extra life on Yawar. He's got his level 20 talent as well. Waveform attacks targets. It's a pretty big upgrade for him. Quinn went for the swashbuckle damage. On the other side of Evil Geniuses, we now have the +4 swarm attacks to kill, which is such an annoying talent. Those bugs, when you get them on people in a team fight, they're gonna stick. People just... Most heroes are not able to just sit there swinging on the bug the entire time.
No, it's super annoying. We did mention if Ryoya dies once, the game might be over, but the same is true for Quincy crew.
Yeah.
They had to use all the buyouts. I think Morphling is the only one with buyout. Yeah, they used 4 in the last fight just to be able to hold.
We have the Fury Swipes damage for Arteezy and the Strength talent for Ryoya, which is why he is so tanky right now.
3.4k HP.
Yeah. Okay, it looks like the issue has been sorted. TeamSpeak's ready to go, and Quincy crew off to the races. They now have a buyback on Arteezy. He just got it off of gold, so if I'm Evil Geniuses, you're going to be a little bit scared about starting a fight with Ryoya not having buyback, but at the same time, you could just play to win here.
And I think that's what they're going to do. That's why, even with the Aegis, they're still getting really aggressive. And I think the reason for this is because the Morphling is the last target anyways.
Mm-hmm.
If they take down the Pango, for example, still a 4v5. You don't really care about that Aegis at that point.
All right, well, bottom lane is being hit by a gigantic wave with 2 siege wagons. So very clearly, you know that Evil Genius is up to
I wonder where
something.
they are.
And Yawar has no problem making himself a target in the middle lane as long as it's close to that high ground.
So even though it's super obvious, the reason why they pop the glyph and they don't really give, they don't go all the way back is because they don't want to give up the positioning.
Right.
They want to keep Quincy crew in their base. And so the worst thing to do for map control here is for somebody to TP bottom and then Quincy crew goes for a smoke or something, pick somebody off. The game gets really awkward from there.
Yeah, even just losing your vision that you put up,
exactly.
right? Like they got a nice 2 different wards here. They'll have somebody placed very forward to be able to break the smoke when they think it's coming. They've got sentries to make sure that Quincy crew has no vision in this area, so they will have an advantage any fight that happens around here. But that's why Quincy crew are also very wisely choosing not to take any fight around that area. Yuar's going to play the opposite side of the map. This is just like a good read.
Yeah, he knows exactly where they are. They're not going to give up the high ground whatsoever. I think a line is being drawn to cut waves. It's a full butterfly.
Full butterfly for Yuar. He can invest into it because, again, he does have that Aegis.
No buyout now, though.
No buyout, so...
Arteezy's
I mean, you're already
brought the
kind
wave.
of all in on one team fight anyway.
They're not really that all in, though. They haven't lost racks.
I more mean that if you lose one team fight, like, if everyone else dies and nobody has buyback, like, will it make a difference? Can Yuar 1v5? Jeez, look at Yuar. He's just tearing into that tier 3. You got a tier 2 on the side of Evil Geniuses. You're probably feeling pretty bad for that trade.
Once the Snapfire shows top, now they should give up control. And this is where you're going to see them immediately push up. And this shows the example right here, right?
Yep.
They were waiting for somebody to leave to defend the base.
So this is EG, they're going to try and double back now without their Snapfire?
No, they should really wait for him.
Okay.
They need the heal and the cookie and all that.
Yeah.
But they want to play around their vision. It's really bad if you just give up the second war, too. You want to make sure that you play around your vision when you can. That's why they're sticking around that area. EG is doing the right thing, and Quincy crew also did the right thing by waiting. But Morphling is getting a little bit close.
Down there, they would certainly try and take that Aegis for a free initiation, especially with the lingering effects of the double damage on the DK. He's going to wait for him through. That's on cooldown right now, but they choose not to go.
They don't know
want
what the rest
a better
is.
target.
Yeah, and it's just awkward going on the Morphling on that low ground area. It's the death zone for Mars Pango.
I could see this play really working with the Morphling like not being gone on in that area. There's a false sense of security, right? So if somebody else were to dwindle down there, say Pangolier, you get that kill, no buyback on him, huge advantage. But both teams just kind of prancing around this area.
And now the Aegis is gone, and Yuar has farmed up quite a bit. So I believe he will have buyback for the next fight.
He just needs another 500 gold, so that you could probably get that in a team fight, no problem. They are finally done. Evil Genius is going to push into that high ground, and Quincy crew, they're going to blink first. They're actually going to retreat from this area.
Are they going to be able to protect their ward is the question?
Possibly. Bulba, he's going to stick around. He gets close to the Dragon Knight. They place a fresh set of wards on that high ground.
Chaos has to give up this position.
They both see each other. They see the ward. They're going to be able to take it out.
You play by the vision game.
I mean, there's no rush if you're Quincy crew, right? Like, okay, we lost our vision. No need to take the fight over there. Morphling's just getting bigger and bigger. That's unfortunate. He DC'd on top of the camp right as the spawn time happened.
He needs that gold.
He was looking for that gold, man. He's trying to build a Scotty.
He's back into the game. How long until their buyouts are refreshed?
1 minute for everybody.
1 minute for everybody.
Yes, okay. They will need a little bit of gold on Biver, but I'm sure
he'll farm it up.
Very likely they'll
That means the Dragon Knight will have it pretty soon too, although he did just fully buy out a Bloodthorn.
We do have tier 4 items, so both teams may take a break and focus on that, or in Quincy crew's place, maybe they will try.
Oh, yikes, somebody got Havoc Hammer.
Yeah, that would be EG.
Oh, they ran in, found the illusion. Havoc Hammer stats are alright. I guess that's the saving grace.
Yeah. If you have a good strength hero, it's not a bad nuke, but something tells me Dragon Knight is not going to give that up. Maybe Bulba can have it. Yeah. It's a what, 425 damage nuke now? Oh. Did that number a little bit wrong, but yeah. Walrus Punch crit. Bulba gets a little bit more
Minotaur
burst.
Horn. That's very nice.
That's a nice one,
Yeah.
for sure.
It's one of the better ones. He's going to send Orb of Destruction back, actually. He's pretty tanky himself. 2.8. Let's round up and say 2.9k health.
Can dig it.
Both teams haven't really gone into a fight for quite some time, and Chaos doesn't have the best vision. They're pinging. They know that there's a high ground ward up there. That's why EG's sticking around in this area. And Yawar is under this vision. They do have a gem. They want to press forward, but this means they have to show under the ward first.
They can try and pop it, but no, the BKB goes off from Yawar, and now Quinn, he needs to try and get out of here. He does have an AM disc. They got a nice soul blind, and that is actually keeping RTZ away from everybody. They tried to go for the arena on crit, but they missed. Now Quinn is going to have to bounce back in, trying to control up some of these heroes. He goes for Bulba once now, going to go for him twice. Rolling Thunder is going to bail out soon, and that means they're going to try and reinitiate. They managed to get the silence, but not before the swashbuckle. He's still stunned for the Dragon Tail that landed on him, though, and Quinn is dead with no buyback. He invested into the Aeon disc instead of holding on a buyback.
Oh, Chaos whiffed so hard on all their spells. Crit, it looked like he was going to get caught out by the Mars Arena. And then the Rolling Thunder really did not accomplish what they wanted it to.
There's a big wave at top they kind of have to deal with. And they don't necessarily know that Quinn doesn't have buyback.
I think they'll at least try to force it out, though. He still has his previous death timer. So 90 seconds is quite some time. They're going to check themselves.
Okay, they see Roshan isn't spawned. There's no dragon form. Still force it? Well, looks like maybe Quincy crew. They might try and do something here. Yawar pops forward, does a bit of damage too.
They get the stun!
They get the stun! And he's still agility. He does have a buyback, but you know EG's going to force it out of you now.
What was that? He hesitated and then he doubled back in for it. But the rest of his team not really in the best position to follow up on that.
Backs against
and
the
now
wall
they'll
in
definitely try to force buyback.
Yawar, perhaps the nerves got to him, but he's certainly going to be forced into using this buyback as evil geniuses. They're going to press onward. A tier 3 dead.
So something's going to feel fishy because the Pango's not buying back, but the Morphling is.
The first repair kit is going to be used. Quincy crew, without their Pango, should not be going and looking for a fight. They shouldn't be itching for it. They just have to hold their base. They're going to have to give up Roshan very likely.
I thought you were going to make a joke right there. Without their Pango, don't go. But Roshan is up. That is, who do you give the Aghanims to?
Well, not to Bulby. He doesn't have a Blink Dagger. You could give it to Snapfire. Well, DK,
no,
right?
DK
for
yeah.
sure.
The DK
Black
one
Dragon.
Is oh, that's going to be high. Oh, I think they gave it to RTZ. Boring.
Yeah, boring. Well, at least he can now pop it while he's disabled. If he gets speared, just take that off real quick.
And the long waveform out from Yawar, who is trying to get back to the base. Team fight-wise, for Quincy crew to win, it's very obvious what EG need to do. They just need to get to the supports. Kill everybody but the Morphling. And then you can isolate the Morph, or maybe Yawar just waveforms in again. But for Quincy crew to win a fight, they need to do the same thing. They need to kill Crit and Fly.
Yeah. And
they actually gave the Aegis to Crit. That's how highly they value this Weaver. He's got Hex, Spirit Vessel. He's their real Morph killer.
They saw that he got targeted by MSS. MSS tried to, in the last team fight, blink forward Arena, but he was so fast with the Shikuchi that he managed to get out before the walls went up. Evans, however, not a bad choice for Bulba. He is just a big, tanky boy. 3k HP, pipe flads.
It's quite a nice item for them to have found.
Oh, yeah.
And a Minotaur Horn of their own, and they're picking up some really tasty tier 4 items.
So, Minotaur Horn for MSS. Timeless Relic for the Morphling with that extra 15% spell damage. He just used 2 different waveform charges, but its evil genius is going through the front gate. Right through the middle lane. They're just going to start swinging on the buildings and force Quincy crew to fight back.
What's the real response here? They're going to pop the repair kit on the melee racks.
Certainly slow them down, especially with the lucky shots that are coming out. They're actually going to be able to get a spear back
in.
That's a beautiful one from Ryoya. He's just, oh, he got saved by the Weaver.
Oh my
He was
Lord.
just about to die. He was getting shotgunned.
I thought he was a goner.
and he gets saved by Crit ever so barely. The walls went up to try and push him out, to try and keep the Weaver away, but it wasn't good enough.
And he didn't have to pop BKB. That was a pretty massive ulti that was expended, and now MSS is just bulwarking forward because he has nothing else to do. He's going to go for it again.
One more time, but at the same time, Crit has already pushed forward once again. He managed to get off the time lapse, and this time around, it's not the arena, but it's going to be MS's life that is wasted.
And they're just going to go towards top, I'd imagine. There's a gem on the ground from MSS. They want to pick that up themselves. Bulba's going to be the recipient. And they're pinging towards top. They don't have the DK form anymore, but they're still strong. And Chaos, without that giant initiation.
I heard a refresher shard that was for Ryoya, so he can get a fresh dragon form out there.
They have to get to Crit, but he's got the Aegis. EG have done this pretty well in terms of who gets what.
They have the arena up, so it was the right idea last time. Throw up the arena to block out Crit while you sent Ryoya like just thrown into his base.
Yes.
Just need to do it a little bit faster this time. Look at him, he's trying to position himself so he like only hits the barracks if he gets speared in. He's got the illusion to help him out as well.
This time, the third time, he will be careful.
Yeah.
That's 2 sets of racks down. EG will be very happy about that. They're about to lose Dragon Form for a second time. I would think that they can easily just wait 60 seconds. MSS did use his buyout. And this team is struggling. I really thought that Chaos was going to take this one home and force a game 5, but they're going to go for the smoke, try to play for the win. They really have to find the vision game. Remember, it's Crit. It has to be that slippery beetle that they go for.
I mean, Evil Geniuses set up a very strong siege that is very difficult to break. They can't afford to let them get set up again.
And look
in
at
the
this,
bottom
they're playing
lane.
around their ward. Always play around their vision.
And they have a double damage on Arteezy. This would be a very awkward spot.
They're pinging. They
for
see
them
everybody.
To go for it. They're going to be able to get the arena out, but it's not fast enough with his spear. He immediately gets abyssed up, and now he's just dead. Quinn rolls on through, but it's not really good enough to do anything. Yawar hasn't managed to get any damage on anybody, and Chris just hiding. He's ready to time-lapse if it's needed, but right now, it's not. His spear. Oh, Yawar, don't do that! Don't morph into agility or strength anymore. He's got the Spirit Vessel on him. He just needs the second morph for the cheese. He pops it for fear of the snowball that he was being chased by Bulba. They're going to have to take a 4 versus 5, make that potentially 3 versus 5 as SVG is going to be spotted here. He does have a buyback. He's going to try and lead them away for as long as possible. He's fast. He's got Tranquil Boots. He's got Ghost Scepter. He'll buy them a few seconds for sure.
And that's an Aegis out, but they are going to get the kill anyways, and I think they're still going to go for the push. This is a dead Mars.
Play. They have the Aeon Disc that's going to be wasted for Quinn. He does manage to swashbuckle backwards, a buyback immediately from SVG, but Evil Genius has already been grouped up. There's no opportunity for a pick here.
And they still have no real answer for this Weaver Aghanim Scepter.
They do not.
And he's tanky enough to really live anyways. He's got 2.5k health. He's got a gem. Sees everything coming. He's got a cheese for himself. They have 2 cheeses on the side of EG. And without MSS doing his spear shenanigans, I don't know how they separate this DK from the rest of the pack. In fact, it would take another EG dive deep into the vase.
Yeah.
Looks like they're just going to wait for their Mars to come back.
I think it's their only option.
Yeah. You play from Megas. I think you would lose trying to go in 4v5.
Wow. That is now level 25 on the Weaver, plus 200 Shukuchi movement speed. So if you thought he was hard to track down before MSS, it was hard to get those spears onto him, it's damn near impossible. In turn, MSS gets the extra second of spear stun, but with Dragonite having a Satanic, it's kind of rough. Any
Rapier,
stun
though,
that lands is just not going to land and be for too long.
Rapier's pretty good.
Is it enough, though?
They have Vlads now, too, to deal with the creeps.
He does 700 damage a hit, like when he waveforms back and forth like he's doing right here.
All right. The insta-clear is pretty cool to watch. He's being really careful, too.
So that is like, what, 1,400 plus a bunch of magic damage. So you're looking at anywhere around 1,500, 1,600
They have no
damage,
buyouts, though. They have 1 on the Rubik. That's it.
I'm going to smoke up.
EG's going to continue to play around their ward, and they're going to camp this top side area, I would hope.
They're going to try and get some vision up there, but it's going to be spotted immediately.
Yeah,
Bulba thinks about defending, throwing out an ice shards or something. They're going to reveal themselves, killing the vision. Arteezy starts marching forward, though. So looking to get close enough for an Abyssal Blade. Trying to protect their vision. They take out the enemy wards, and Quincy crew is forced to retreat to their base once again.
And they had vision anyways inside Quincy crew's base.
Yeah.
They had another set of wards placed with the sentry, and without the gem, they weren't able to spot that. In fact, there's a lane ward everywhere. That ward is just out of vision. Really nice obs ward placed by Fly. In fact, they have not covered their own base very well at all. So they're spotted throughout the entirety of this.
This is a very well-formulated plan to lock Quincy crew in their base. A masterclass way to be able to siege enemy high ground.
I think they're waiting for the next Roche.
Evil Geniuses do not want to go to a Game 5. They are going to solidify their advantage in every possible way they can.
Now you get the Black Dragon, surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Dragon.
Screw this Tusk. He doesn't need a kick. Only losers kick.
Also, level 25 on the Dragonite. So he does get the Aghanim's Blessing, but he also now has a +2 second Dragon Tail. That amps it up to 5.25 seconds.
All right.
It's
Ice
how
Rock
long
just
a
made up
team
those
fight
numbers.
The fact that it ends on 0.25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least round up.
Oh, no.
No, like 5.5. That's a nice round number. Everybody likes that. Trust me, Twitch chat will agree.
Let's round down. Let's make it 5. The Black Dragon approaches.
Oh, that thing spells death.
4,300 HP. And it spells doom for Quincy's base as he parses forward. They do have the telekinesis with the damage. They're doing a little bit, but boy, it just doesn't look like. And now the shotgun goes out with that magic resistance. Ryoya just shrugs it off. He still has a cheese. He still has crit in his back pocket at any point in time. And what Quincy crew do not have is a rolling thunder. Now the tier 4s,
how do you defend your
be
base?
Disappearing quite soon too. Now
and
the
they
jump
gotta go
forward
for it
from
now.
the Morphling. They
It's
have
not
to
doing
make some
enough.
sort of commitment. The Antis is now going to be pop on Quinn as well. They're going to try and go for the MSS. The Antis is gone, so they immediately jump on the Pangolier. He buys back a stun out from the Cookie. A nice
There's
two-man
so
stun.
many creeps
the tier 4s
everywhere.
are going to be dying soon. Yuar's going to be the focus of this fight, and he does have the Divine Rapier, but now he's been Spirit Vessel. Now he's being chased. His Linkens is broken. He's Walrus Punch up in the air. He's trying to get out somehow. A snowball keeps him stunned out, and he is dead, and he is gone. And Quincy crew, they're out. Evil Geniuses will be your champions
Wow.
for the North American ESL One LA online tournament.
With 2 stands.